optimization robotic applications. We are in session 12.2 now. We have 13 papers to be presented in this session. All participants will have 10 minutes to present their studies. So the title of the first paper is Utilizing GLOVE Embeddings for Deep Learning-Based Analysis of Research Paper Abstracts. Are the authors here?
Yes, we present.
Okay, if you are ready, you can share your screen and start your presentation.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see. You can start.
Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It is my privilege and honor to stand for you today as the presenter of this esteemed research paper titled Utilizing GLOVE Embeddings for Deep Learning-Based Analysis of Research Paper Abstracts. My name is Al Hussain and I represent the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at East West University in Dhaka, Bangladesh. First and foremost, I would like to express my gratitude to the co-authors for their exceptional work and dedication. Our research paper is structured into 6 key sections. These are introduction, related work, methodology, result and discussion, conclusion, future work, and references. Each key sections providing valuable insights into our study. The rapid growth of scientific literature in online archives has made it challenging for researchers to find relevant articles. Manual classification and categorization of these articles is a daunting task. However, automated approaches such as topic modeling and tagging have emerged as solutions. Study aims to accurately classify research paper based on their abstracts. The study utilizes a diverse data set containing abstracts from various scientific fields. In the study, the data set was subjected to rigorous pre-processing to clean and refine the data. The semantic information within the abstracts was captured using GLOBE word embeddings. LSTM, GRU, BiLSTM, and BiGRU models were employed to capture intricate patterns in the text and understand the relationship between words in a sequence. Performance evaluation was conducted using metrics including F1 score, accuracy, precision, and recall. The results demonstrated the effectiveness of deep learning algorithm in accurately assign labels to research article based on their abstracts. In this investigation, we acknowledge the contribution of prior studies that have influenced our research. Johnson and Zhang pioneered the use of semi-supervised CNNs with GLOBE embeddings for text classification. Lau and Baldwin highlighted the advantages of document embeddings, including GLOBE in text categorization and sentiment analysis. Delvin introduced BART, a transformer-based language model which significantly improved performance in document classification and language comprehension tasks. This study served as inspiration for our exploration into scientific document analysis. Now you may be wondering, how does our study differ from these significant contributions? Our research takes a novel approach by examining GLOBE embeddings, especially in the context of research paper abstracts. We aim to elevate the realm of deep learning analysis of abstracts through the integration of GLOBE embeddings. By focusing our efforts on this distinct domain, we anticipate shedding light on the unique challenge and benefit associated with utilization of GLOBE embeddings. Our methodology involves several key steps. We start with data preprocessing and then split the dataset into train, test, and validation sets. Tokenization is performed to break down the text, followed by padding to ensure uniform input lengths. Word embedding techniques, especially GLOBE, are applied to enhance semantic understanding. Different architectures such as LSTM, BiLSTM, GRU, and BiGRU are employed. Performance of the model is evaluated using metrics such as accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score. The dataset utilized in an insightful research paper comprises a total 20,006 abstracts of various research papers. The dataset can be divided into two primary components, each serving a unique purpose. First and foremost, we have the abstract column. Within this column, we find the abstract part of each research paper. In addition to the abstract, the dataset also encompasses four distinct category columns. These are computer science, mathematics, physics, and statistics, representing key fields of scientific inquiry and exploration. Uh, in data preprocessing, we remove URLs, new lines, punctuation, and white space to focus on relevant data. Lemmatization reduces word to their base form, while removing stop words and rare words reduces noise. Converting text to lowercase ensure case insensitivity for analysis. These steps enhance data quality, clarity, and accuracy in subsequent tasks. Our dataset is divided into three subsets: the training dataset, the test dataset, and the validation dataset. The training dataset contains 70% of the data, the test dataset contains 20% of the data, and the validation dataset contains 10% of the data. Tokenization divides text into smaller units called tokens, facilitating analysis. Padding addresses the challenge of variable sequence lengths by adding zeros to create uniform matrices. Tokenization and padding enhance computational efficiency and enable advanced techniques that require fixed length inputs. Globe word embeddings play a crucial role in research paper abstract analysis. Pre-processing steps were undertaken to ensure accurate results, comparing each word against pre-trained globe word vector to generate word embeddings. The abstract were transformed into numerical representation by mapping word to vector representations. Aggregation techniques such as averaging or weighted averaging were used to create comprehensive document level representation by combining individual word embeddings within each abstract. Deep learning model have revolutionized natural language processing and sequential data analysis. The long short-time memory is adept at capturing long-term dependencies through input, output, and forget gates. The gated recurrent unit addresses the vanishing gradient problem by using update and reset gates for better information flow. The bidirectional long short-term memory combines forward and backward LSTMs to capture the context from past and future inputs. The bidirectional gated recurrent unit analyzes data in both directions, providing a comprehensive contextual and understanding. These models have propelled advancement in understanding the extracting insights from sequential data. Our comprehensive framework utilizes a deep learning model with 128 units and a dropout rate of 0.5 over 100 epochs. We optimize performance with the ADAM optimizer and assess effectiveness using the binary cross entropy loss function for classification tasks. Dense layers are engineered with ReLU and sigmoid activation. Multiple evaluation metrics such as accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score provide a comprehensive understanding of the model's compatibilities. Performance metrics of different RNN architecture were evaluated, including accuracy loss, precision, recall, and F1 score. Overall, all architectures perform similarly well with an accuracy of 0.91. LSTM and BiLSTM achieved the highest precision scores between 0.93 and 0.91. The recall scores were consistently high at 0.94, suggesting a low number of false negatives. F1 score ranged from 0.92 to 0.94, indicating good overall performance for all architectures. In terms of loss, LSTM and BiLSTM had slightly lower values compared to GRU and BiGRU, indicating better convergence and improved model performance. The validation accuracy versus epoch count graph shows how training advances over time. increasing the accuracy of the model on the validation set. It helps us to see how the model's classification accuracy of the research article categories evolves or stays the same over time. On the other hand, the validation loss versus epoch count graph shows the model's performance in terms of the loss function during training. A lower loss number indicates better model performance since it better captures the difference between the anticipated and real categories. In conclusion, our research demonstrated the effectiveness of utilizing globe embedding and deep learning model for accurately classifying research paper abstracts. By leveraging globe word embedding and employing LSTM GRU, by LSTM and by GRU models, we successfully capture both semantic and sequential pattern within abstracts. The deep learning model consistently achieve a high accuracy of 0.91, outperforming traditional machine learning approaches. Precision recall and F1 score consistently range between 0.1 and 0.94, indicating the model strongly performs in abstract classification across various disciplines. In the future, our goal is to expand categorization models beyond computer science, mathematics, physics, and statistics should be the goal of future research, and also the improvement of usability and accessibility of automated paper classification. The aforementioned references are employed within our study. I'm now open to any question you may have regarding our research paper. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. Dear participants, do you have any questions about this topic? As I can see, there are no questions. Then we can go on with the next paper. The title of the paper is Time-Optimized Detection of Cardiovascular Complication with Artificial Intelligence in Rescue Operations using FPGA-based wearable. Are the authors of this paper here? Okay, the authors are not here. Let's go on with the next paper. The title of the paper is TUAJUT two-factor authentication based on distance and face recognition for secure and efficient employee attendance monitoring. Are the authors here? I guess they are not here.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rahaf Adam Al-Naimi, and I'm one of the authors and developers of the system TUAJUT that I'll be presenting today. I'm presenting all the way from the United Arab Emirates, specifically Abu Dhabi University in Abu Dhabi. TUAJUT is a two-factor authentication based on distance and face recognition for secure and efficient employee attendance system. The topics I'll be presenting today are as follows: introduction, motivation, methodology, system overview, implementation and results, discussion, and finally, conclusion. Monitoring employee attendance is crucial for organizations to ensure productivity and accountability. Traditional authentication systems like access cards and biometric methods have been popular choices, but they face challenges in the era of COVID-19 and social distances regulations. To address these limitations, we propose a two-factor authentication system that combines distance and face recognition together. Our system utilizes advanced geo-tracking tools, Web3 features, and face recognition technologies to provide secure and adaptive logins for employees, while enabling efficient attendance monitoring for employers. It is scalable, user-friendly, and does not require additional devices, making it a flexible and practical solution. What motivated us to do this system is that we want to achieve safety and stability by minimizing the risk of catching viruses. We want to achieve discipline and authentication, and we want to ease attendance procedures as well. Our methodology approach was the design thinking approach, in which it allowed us to understand the needs and experiences of the users to develop innovative solutions. It follows a structural process that encourages creativity, collaboration, and iteration. The approach typically involves the following stages: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. Going to the system overview, as you can see here, this image shows our system and how it works. For example, an employee starts to log in. First, he's gonna use the face recognition. So it detects that this is the right person who's entering. and then it will take him immediately to the distance page, which will check and compare his distance with the organization's distance and make sure that he is inside the organization premises and not outside. All this information will be saved in our database, which is our Firebase database. For the role of the manager and the admins, they'll be viewing and monitoring employees' activity, and the HR registrar will be creating the employee accounts. Thankfully, we have implemented our system successfully, and our system consists of a mobile application and a website. As you can see here, our mobile application is as follows. So the employee will begin to log in with the credentials that the HR registrar have created for him. After that, he'll choose clock in since he's entering to the work premises. After that, it will take him immediately to the face recognition page, which will scan his face and make sure that he is the right employee. Immediately, it will take him to the distance location page, in which it will compare the distance of the employee with the company's distance and make sure that he is inside the company's premises. And if he's inside the company's premises, it will show here that he is present. If not, it will show here that he is absent. Going to the website, we have 3 portals in our website. The first one is the admin portal. The second one is the manager's portal. The third one is the HR registrar's portal. As you can see here, these are the main pages of our 3 portals. The admin's main page, the manager's main page, and the HR registrar main page as well. And here for each employee, they have a dashboard. A dashboard here calculates how many hours he have worked in a week. As mentioned earlier, we're using the Firebase database to save all the information of the employees and securing them. For the discussion, the Tawajid application revolves employees' attendance by replacing fingerprint scanners and access card. It enables employees sign in using their mobile devices, verifying their presence through location and facial recognition. Admins and managers can access employee information and routines. The system is user-friendly with HR registrars providing login credentials and activating the location-based service. Facial recognition confirms employee identity upon arrival. The system monitors activity records, entry and exit times, and detects departure during working hours. And finally, for the conclusion, in summary, our suggested 2-factor authentication system leverages distance and face recognition technologies to manage employee attendance. It incorporates advanced geo-tracking tools, ensuring secure logins and streamlined monitoring compared to conventional approaches. It enhances security measures and facilitates quicker authentication processes. Thank you very much.
All participants will have 10 minutes to present their studies. So the title is on with the next paper. The title of the paper is Belt Drive Condition Monitoring Using Generalized Gaussian Distribution-Based Entropy Features. Are the authors here?
Yes, Chair, I am here.
Okay, if you are ready, you can share your screen and start.
Yes, I am screening my screen. So, good evening.
Yes, we can see your screen. You can start.
Sorry. Good evening, everyone. I am Dr. J.R. Ramesh Kumar from National University of Science and Technology, Oman. And thanks for the opportunity given for me to present my research paper, Belt Drive Condition Monitoring using Generalized Gaussian Distribution-Based Entropy Features. I express my gratitude for my colleagues, Raghavesh and Varghese and Professor K.P. Ramachandran. The overview, introduction, methodology, implementation, result and discussion, conclusion and references. Now, in general introduction, belt drives, which are commonly used to transmit power from one shaft to another shaft. The reliable operation is very much important. Condition monitoring techniques, which is used to detect early fault. Out of that, vibration monitoring is one of the best commonly used method, which detect almost 70 to 80% of the mechanical fault. The common fault which are arising in the belt drives are bad belts, crack development, eccentricity. Using vibration monitoring techniques, the time domain and frequency domain signals, which are used to detect and analyze various belt faults, literature review, polar and presents an approach to anomaly detection based on the vibrations, to assess the impact of Bully misalignment, who and created the three-dimensional finite element model. To enhance the lifespan of the belt drives, Geo proposed time-dependent reliability model. Obtaining simple time and frequency domain features extraction is frequently insufficient for belt diagnosis. Lee and Sen presents a SVM and Gray-Wolf optimization for fault classification. LSTM and transfer neural network model was suggested for the classification of different conveyor belt situations. And Kumar and other researchers conducted experimental work for various fault diagnosis using FFT on modulate wavelet envelope power spectrum to diagnose severity of the belt. In our research, we adopted entropy-based feature. Entropy, which is widely used to measure and study the uncertainty of time series. So in time series signals, which as in the evolution of bearing vibration data, the entropy measure is widely as a feature extraction approach. Multi-scale dispersion entropy and defined composite MD proposed as mean were used in our research. Generalized Gaussian distribution MDE proposed and were applied in bearing vibration signals. So in this study, GGD or CME proposed is applied for the classification of belt drives and to identify health condition and fault condition. Further, the entropy-based features are used to classify healthy and fault conditions. In our approach, generalized Gaussian distribution CDF is selected instead of NCDF. As I mentioned, GGD or CMD with different scale and shape factor is extracted multi-scale features from the raw belt vibration signals to formulate feature code. Feature selection is essential for after feature extraction to reduce feature dimension and computational burden during the train process. GGD or CM feature cluster that has the lowest standard deviation among the shape parameter is selected to form a primary feature pool. Finally, these features are utilized for training and the neural network, which then predicts the fault condition of the belter system. The proposed method effectively is validated using the experimental data set. The flowchart is given, so which I am going to explain in details. The proposed method using the GGD dispersion entropy methods. This proposed use developed GGD or CMD method. With feature extraction, the vibration signals are initially divided into R, 110 numbers of non-overlapped segments with 1K, 1020 samples per segment. Then each segment of GGD or CMD features are calculated for the different shape parameter beta. And W with the length of L is equal to 1024, then the signal is coarse grained by being fit into L by T. So various formula which are used to calculate the time scale factor, length segments are given. And finally, each factor scale factor size is given for the proposed method. Initially, the time series GGD cumulative distribution function, which I have given in the with respect to the gamma value, which is the standard value, with shape parameter alpha is equal to 1 for Laplacian alpha is equal to 2, and alpha is equal to infinity, close to uniform distribution. Then the linear algorithm assigned for each H0 values with respect to the time series data. The step involved n number of classified time series. With respect to the values of given the supposed equations. In the step, each possible dispersion pattern, the relative frequency is calculated, and then RGD or CMD is computed for each scale factors, as I mentioned earlier. These are the implementations which shows data base with respect to the dispersion pattern. For each signal, the GGD or MC measure of each segment with a different shape parameter from 0.1 to maximum 4 is calculated with feature set. The parameter used in this work are mentioned given the data. As we used GGD or CMD features for the scale range from 15 to 20 or almost, we used the dimension of 17,600 into 15. For each signal, the GGD or CMD feature cluster from FP that has the lowest standard deviation among the different shape parameters is selected to form a primary feature pool. After performing this step, the total features it is almost FS 17,600 into 15 are reduced by 40%. That is F 40 into 15. Then the primary features pool is divided for training and testing purpose based on the predefined ratio of 40 to 60 and 60 to 40. Neural network model. Initially, MATLAB function fit-curve is used for feature set and target class to find the optimum model with hyperparameters that provide the best classification accuracy. Basically, we use classification neural network object in MATLAB, which is a trained feed-forward and fully connected neural network for classification. The network input GGT or CMD features is connected to the neural network, is fully connected layer, and this successor layer is connected to the layer. Each completely linked layers, best vector and multiple input via matrix. In this work, the hyperparameter such as activation, lambda, and layer sizes were used. For experimental work, a forward curve centrifugal test bed, which is shown in the figure, is adopted for conducting experimental work. It consists of a centrifugal fan with motor running of the maximum of 3000 RPM connected with the two pulleys with V belts. We conducted an experiment for healthy condition. At the same time, the figure which is shown in the B is belt cut condition. That means one is healthy condition, another one is the fault condition. To measure the fan motors, we used the accelerometer, which have a sensitivity of 1.02 millivolts meter per second square, with the frequency range of 18 kilohertz. Further, the vibration signals acquired through LabVIEW software. These are the experimental procedure, and the signals which I have shown represented in the figure, the faulty and healthy belt drive signals acquired to the experimental setup for three directions: axial, horizontal, and vertical directions. The distribution and the unique shape factors which are calculated are defined in the given table for all the conditions. The primary feature full data set divided into two groups according to a predefined ratio. This experimental considered two training, 0.4 and 0.4, and testing to 0.6 and 0.4 ratios. Considering the total number of primary features, the training ratio of 0.4 implies with 440 randomly selected features are used for training the NN model, and the remaining 660 features are used for testing. The model is evaluated using the test data set after successful training. The performance metrics are produced using the confusion matrix. The following formula which are used to calculate accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 scores. And the table shows for three conditions: axial data, vertical data, and horizontal data, and the validation literature data, which also implies with about 96.4% compared to our 99.6%. The confusion matrix for horizontal, vertical, and axial direction says for the ABC, which compared with the confusion matrix of 0.2 second raw data of belt drive for which we use in the literature review. Confusion matrix for axial, horizontal, and vertical belt driver for classification 4 operating conditions with respect to 1000, 500, and 1000 RPM. These experiments are taken into account the training neural network with 5-fold classification and the vibration signals in all the three directions. We found that axial direction data exhibits better performance as compared to the vertical data. The confusion matrix of the belt drive data acquired horizontal direction shows the best performance along the data set. The proposed model was validated for 0.2 second raw data, which is shown in the literature. As per the literature, LSTM method had the best classification accuracy of 72% for the 0.2 second raw data. For the same data, our shows 96.4 classification accuracy using our method. In conclusion,
sorry, your time administration is over.
Yes.
Please try to conclude and summarize.
Yes. So in conclusion, we used the DGD RCMD method in applied best performance, and we achieved accuracy of 99.8%. And further, we are planning to go for conducting another experiment for unbalanced and misalignment condition with different operating speeds. These are my references. And the author extremely grateful to the College of Engineering, National University of Science and Technology for supporting this research work. Thanks a lot. Any question, please? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Dear participants, do you have any questions about this presentation? As I can see, there are no questions. Thank you again. We can go on with the next paper. The title of the paper is Improving Retweet Prediction via Tweet Features. Are the authors here?
Buradayım.
Okay, you can start.
Geldim hocam ekranım.
Geldi. Türkçe mi sunacaksınız, İngilizce mi?
Sunumu Türkçe yapacağım.
Tamam,
Diğer dinleyiciler için sadece İngilizce hazırladım.
tamam.
Herkese merhabalar. Öncelikle ben kendimi tanıtayım. İsmim Safa Enes Türkoğlu. Kocaeli Üniversitesi yüksek lisans öğrencisiyim. Aynı zamanda Tokat Kasımpaşa Üniversitesi'nde araştırma görevlisi olarak görev yapmaktayım. Kocaeli'den danışman hocam Doçent Doktor Ali Mutlu ile Twitter üzerinde bir makine öğrenmesi çalışması yaptık. Sunum sırasında bahsedeceğim konu başlıkları şu şekilde. Genel olarak Twitter ve Twitter'daki popülerlikten bahsedeceğim. Problem tanımı ve çözüm önerisinde bulunacağım. Bununla birlikte veri seti, özellikler ve sınıflandırma modeli aşamaları üzerinde duracağım. Son olarak deneysel sonuçlara yer vereceğim sunum boyunca. Twitter'dan başlarsak, Twitter kullanıcıların tweet olarak bilinen mesajları yayınladığı ve birbiriyle etkileşimde bulunduğu bir Amerikan mikroblog ve sosyal ağ hizmetidir. Amerikalı girişimciler tarafından 2006'da kullanıma açıldı. 2013'te en çok ziyaret edilen 10 internet sitesinden biri olmuştur ve internetin SMS'i olarak tanımlanmıştır. Twitter uygulamasının sahibi ve işletmecisi olan şirket 2022'de Elon Musk tarafından 44 milyon dolara satın alınmıştır. 2022'nin birinci çeyreği itibariyle 229 milyon aktif kullanıcısı vardır Twitter'ın. Mecrada ayrıca dakikada ortalama yaklaşık 98 bin tane tweet atılmaktadır. Twitter kullanıcılarının 4000 karakterlik mesajlar yani tweetler paylaşmasına olanak tanır. Bu sınır 2023 yılında 280 karakterden 400'e çıkarıldı. Ayrıca kullanıcılar tweetlerine resim, video, GIF gibi ve anket gibi farklı öğeler de ekleyebiliyorlar. Twitter dünya çapında milyonlarca kullanıcıya sahiptir ve haber kaynağı olarak sıkça kullanılmaktadır. Twitter'ı diğer sosyal medya platformlarından ayıran özelliği ise haber, siyaset, kültür, spor gibi konularda daha hızlı ve gerçek zamanlı bir iletişim sağlamakta. Bununla birlikte dünya genelindeki haberleri ve olayları anlık takip edebilme yönüyle diğer sosyal medya platformlarından ayrılmaktadır. Etkileşim ve popülerlik Twitter için önemli kavramlardır. Bazı çalışmalara dayanarak Twitter'da etkili olmanın yolunun takip sayısından değil, retweet sayısından geçtiği öne sürülmüştür. Twitter'da temelde 3 farklı etkileşim alma yolu var. Bunlar yorum, beğeni ve retweet'tir. Twitter kullanıcıları başkalarının paylaşımlarını retweet ederek kendi takipçilerine sunar. Yani Twitter üzerinden yapılan yeniden paylaşma işlemine retweet denmektedir. Kullanıcının retweet yaparken yorumda paylaşmasına ise tweet alıntılama denir. Problem tanımını şöyle yapabilirim. Sosyal medya kullanıcılarının sayısı şu anda dünya nüfusunun %58'inden fazlasını oluşturmakta. Özellikle COVID-19 pandemisi nedeniyle insanlar sosyal medyada daha fazla vakit geçirmeye başladı. Geçtiğimiz yıldan bu yana 424 milyon yeni sosyal medya kullanıcısı eklendi. Bu yüzden %10'dan fazla bir sayı. Şu anda dünyada 4.62 milyar sosyal medya kullanıcısı bulunuyor. İnternet kullanıcı sayısı ise 5 milyara yaklaşmış durumda. Yani ne demek? İnternet kullanıp sosyal medya kullanmayan insan sayısı oranı çok düşük bir rakam. Bununla birlikte sosyal medyanın hayatımızdaki yeri ve önemi her geçen gün daha da artmakta. Ve çoğu kullanıcı kariyerlerinin ve popülerliğinin sosyal medyada nasıl arttıracağı konusunda araştırmalar yapmakta. Hatta bu alanda profesyonel çalışan danışmanlar da bulunuyor. Sosyal medya danışmanlığı da artık bir meslek olarak tanımlanıyor. Sosyal açıdan problemi tanımlamamız gerekirse tek cümleyle şöyle diyebiliriz. İnsanların artan sosyal medya kullanımı ve popüler olma eğilimleri. Teknik olarak baktığımızda ise bir Twitter kullanıcısı TT listesine giren bir hashtag hakkında tweet atarsa attığı tweet popüler olur mu veya olmaz mı? Retweet alır mı almaz mı şeklinde. Bu hashtag ve TT listesi kavramlarından bahsedeceğim birazdan. Twitter kullanıcılar arasında büyük bir etkileşim sağlıyor. Bu etkileşimin en önemli parçalarından biri de retweet, yani yeniden paylaşma işlemi. Retweet kullanıcıların başka birinin tweetini kendi hesaplarında yeniden paylaşmalarına deniyor. Bu da bir tweetin daha fazla kişiye ulaşmasını sağlıyor ve popülerliğini arttırıyor. Twitter'da retweet yapmanın iki yolu vardır. Birincisi manuel olarak retweet yapmak. Bunda kullanıcı bir tweet'i alıntılayarak kendi tweet'ine ekler ve orijinal tweet'in altında retweet formatını kullanarak tweet'in orijinal kaynak kullanıcısını belirtir. Ancak bu yöntem retweet bağlantısının doğru şekilde belirlenmesine sorunlar oluşturabildiği için ikinci bir yol olan retweet simgesi, Twitter'ın retweet düğmesi orijinal tweet'i değiştirmeden yeniden paylaşmasını sağlar. İkinci yol retweet bağlantısını açıkça işaretlediği için daha çok tercih edilir. Twitter kullanıcıları konuşmaları takip etmek ve ilgilerini çeken konuları bulmak için hashtag kullanırlar. Bu etiketler üzerinden konuyla ilgili alıp atılan tüm tweetlere ulaşılabilir. Twitter'da TT listesi yani Trend Topic gün içinde en çok konuşulan konuların yer aldığı bir listedir. Bu konular genellikle diyez sembolüyle belirtilir ve milyonlarca kullanıcı tarafından kullanılabilir. Tweetlerle birlikte gündemdeki konuların kısa sürede yayılmasına ve TT listesine girmesini sağlayabilir. Ayrıntılara geçmeden önce şöyle özetleyebilirim. Çalışma kapsamında veri kazıma yöntemleriyle tweet verileri çekip çekilen verilerden yeni özellikler çıkardık. Veri setinin son haline gerekli ön işleme adımları uygulandıktan sonra bir tweetin retweet alıp almayacağına dair sınıflandırma problemi için uygun bir makine öğrenmesi modeliyle eğitip sonuçları elde ettik. Twitter'dan elde ettiğimiz yaklaşık 203 bin tweet içeren bir veri seti kullandık. Bu tweetleri Google hizmeti olan Colab ortamında Python senesi Create kütüphanesi yardımıyla elde ettik. Black History Month konu etiketiyle ve Şubat 2023'te atılan bütün tweetler veri setinde yer alıyor. Tweetleri Şubat ayı bittikten bir hafta sonra çektik. Black History Month hashtag'i ise ABD'de 2023 Şubat ayı boyunca ülke tarihinde zulme uğramış siyahi insanları anma adına başlatılmış bir hashtag'tir. Veri seti konu bazlı ve belirli bir sürecin olması sebebiyle, yani hashtag'in belirli bir sürecin olması sebebiyle özgünlüğünü sağlamakta. Senesi Create kütüphanesi ile doğrudan çekilebilen tweet ID'si, kullanıcı adı, hesap doğrulama durumu, takipçi sayısı, takip edilen kişi sayısı, tweet'in oluşturulma tarihi, kullanıcının toplam tweet sayısı, tweet'in içeriği, hesabın oluşturulma tarihi, tweet'te geçen mentionlar, hashtag'ler, linkler, medyalar, tweet'in alıntılanan tweetleri, yanıt verilen kullanıcı ve tweet'in atıldığı retweet sayıları gibi özellikleriyle veri seti ilk halini aldı. Ardından yeni özellikler çıkartma ve bu elde edilen özellikleri anlamlandırmak için farklı teknikler uyguladık. Oluşturduğumuz ilk veri setine göre tweetlerin retweet alma oranı %41,5, yapılan ortalama retweet sayısı ise 4,46. Bununla birlikte retweet alan tweetler içinde 4'ten az retweet alan tweetlerin oranı %67 olması ve bunların retweet almayan sınıfa daha yakın olmaları retweet alıp almama sınıflandırma problemini de daha da zorlaştırmaktadır. 5 tane kullanıcı, 10 tane tweet, 5 tane de önerdiğimiz toplam 20 özelliği modelleri girdi olarak hazırladık. Tweet özellikleri sosyal, zamansal, içerik tabanlı, kullanıcı tabanlı, duygusal ve yapısal gibi çeşitli şekillerde kategorize edilebilir. Biz bir makaleden esinlenerek bunları iki ana kategoride sınıflandırdık. Tweet ve kullanıcı özellikleri olarak. Twitter'da tweetlerin retweet edilme durumu üzerinde etkili olan özelliklerin analizini yapmak için geniş bir tweet ve kullanıcı özellikleri yelpazesini inceledik. Bunun için senesi Create kütüphanesi aracılığıyla doğrudan elde edilebilen bazı özelliklerin makine öğrenmesi modellerini girebilecek şekilde sayısal değerlere dönüştürdük. Özelliklere başlarsak öncelikle tweetlerin konum bilgisi, bağlantı adresi, alıntılanan tweet adresi, cevaplanan tweet adresi özelliklerine bu bilgileri varsa 1 yoksa 0 olacak şekilde ikili değerler verdik. Tweet'in içerdiği liste halinde olan hashtag ve mentionlar sayılarına göre hashtag ve mention sayısı şeklinde yeni özellikler haline getirdik. Tweet'in içerdiği medya bağlantısına göre eğer medya eklentisi yoksa 0, fotoğraf ise 1, video ise 2, GIF ise 3 veya farklı medya türleri birlikte bulunuyorsa 4 şeklinde sınıflandırdık ve medya tipi özelliğini oluşturduk. Tweet'e atan hesabın açıldığı tarihten yıl verisini ayırıp 2023'ten çıkararak hesap yaşını elde ettik. Tweet'in atıldığı tarih verisinden başka çalışmalarda rastlamadığımız özgün olduğunu düşünen iki özellik çıkarttık. Gün içinde öğleden önceki uyku ve mesai durumundan dolayı öğleden sonra Twitter kullanımının daha yoğun olabileceğini varsayarak tweet'in atıldığı saat verisinden eğer tweet öğleden önce atılmışsa 0, öğleden sonra atılmışsa 1 şeklinde sınıflandırdık. AM/PM özelliğini çıkarttık. İkinci olarak bilakis remote hashtag ile 1 aylık bir periyotta atılacak tweetlerin güncelliğini her geçen gün azaltacağını varsayarak 1 Şubat'ta 0'dan başlayarak 28 Şubat'ta 27'ye kadar her gün bir artacak şekilde hashtag'in TT olduğu ilk günden kaç gün uzakta olduğunu tutan konu güncelli özelliğini veri setine ekledik. Tweet'in içeriğinden tweet uzunluğu ve tweet'te kullanılan kelime sayısını çıkarttık. Python Re modülü kullanarak tweetlerin emoji içerik içermediği bilgisini özellik olarak kullandık. Yine özgün olan ve başka makalede rastlanmayan büyük harf küçük harf oranı özelliğini iki değerin tweet içeriğinden elde edip oranlanmasıyla oluşturduk. Gereğinden fazla büyük harf kullanımının tweet'in popülerliğini olumsuz etkileyeceği fikri bu özelliğe eklenmesinde etkili oldu. Retweet sayılarından hedef değişken olan retweet alma durumunu eğer tweet retweet almışsa 1 almamışsa 0 şeklinde sınıflandırdık. Tweetlerin içeriğini bazı ön işlem adımlarından geçirerek temizlenmiş veri üzerinden yeni özellikler elde ettik. Python LTK kütüphanesi kullanarak tweetleri İngilizce stop word'lerden ayırdık. Mention'lar, hashtag'ler, bağlantılar, köşeli parantez içindeki ifadeler, noktalama işaretleri, sayı içeren kelimeler, emojiler ve bütün tek karakterleri kaldırdık. Tüm harfleri küçük harfe çevirme ve stemming tekniğiyle kelimeleri köküne indirme işlemini uyguladık. Python Wader kütüphanesi ile tweetlerin duygu skorlarını elde ettik. Duygu durumu nötr tahmin edilenler 0, pozitifleri 1, negatifleri 2 olarak sınıflandırdık ve duygu durumu özelliğini çıkardık. Scikit-learn kütüphanesini kullanarak tweetlerde geçen kelimelerin ve tweet almadaki etkisinin belirlenmesi için TF-IDF tekniğiyle kelime ağırlıklarını hesapladık. Bütün tweetlerde toplam 500 defadan az geçen kelimelerin hesaplamaya katılmaması için min_df parametresini 500 olarak girdik. Sonuçta 890 kelimeyi her tweet için test ettik ve her tweet için TF-IDF matrisi elde ettik. Kelimelerin o tweet için ağırlık skorlarının olduğu 1'e 890 boyutundaki matrislerden her tweet için toplam skor hesapladık ve TF-IDF tekniğinin bir modifikasyonu olarak TF-IDF total skor özelliğini çıkardık. TF-IDF tekniğinden kısaca bahsetmek gerekirse, bir belgedeki bir terimin önemini belirlemek için kullanılan bir istatistiksel ölçüttür. Bu yöntem bir belgedeki bir terimin ne kadar sık kullanıldığını ve diğer belgelerde ne kadar nadir olduğunu dikkate alarak terimlerin önem sıralamasını yapar. Bir belgenin içindeki bir terimin frekansı arttıkça terimin önemi de artar. Ancak terimin diğer belgelerde daha nadir bulunması durumunda o terimin önemi daha da yükselir. Bu şekilde yaygın ve genel terimlerin önemi azalırken daha nadir ve belirleyici terimlerin önemi artar. Biz bu tekniği her bir tweet'i farklı bir belge olarak varsayarak uyguladık. Modellemeye geçtiğimizde veri setindeki retweet dağılımının dengesizliğinden ve ortalama altında retweet alanların retweet almayan tweetler olan benzerliğinden dolayı veri setini küçültmeye gittik. Özellikle tweet atan kullanıcının kendi tweetini retweetlemesiyle tweetin retweet sayısının 1 olabilmesi bizi bu veri setini düzenlemeye yönlendirdi. Bu kapsamda veri setindeki 1, 2, 3 retweet alan tweetlerle beraber retweet almayan rastgele seçilmiş 90.000 tweet'i veri setinden sildik. İşlem sonunda 56.000 tane tweet'i modeli sokmak üzere hazır hale getirdik. Veri seti modele girmeden önce follower statüs sayısı ve tweet uzunluğu sütunlarına normalizasyon tekniği uyguladık. Bu verilerin birbirleriyle karşılaştırılabilir hale getirilmesi için uygulanan bir yöntem. Son aşama olarak verileri 0,2 oranında train test olarak ayırdık. Biz bu model eğitiminde retweet tahmini modeli için yazılan bir inceleme makalesini baz alarak başarılı bulunan random forest algoritmasını tercih ettik. Ve veri setini uygulayarak test edilen özelliklere göre performans karşılaştırmaları yaptık. Doğruluk skoru ile beraber problemimizin değerlendirilmesi için uygun olan F1 skorometriğini de dahil ettik.
Hocam yaklaşık süremizi 4 dakika açtık. Böyle yavaş yavaş toparlayabilir miyiz?
Tamamdır, o zaman random forest'tan bahsetmeyeyim. Sonuçlara geldiğimizde ilk olarak önerdiğimiz özellikleri dahil etmeden kalan bütün özellikleri girdi olarak kullandık. Parametrenin default bıraktığımız random forest modeli sonucunda önem grafiğini elde ettik ve 0.83 civarında doğruluk ve F1 skoru aldık. Scikit-learn kütüphanesindeki Future Importance fonksiyonunu kullanarak öznitelik önem sıralamasını hesaplayıp grafik elde ettik. Grafikte görüldüğü gibi bir tweet'in yeniden tweetlenmesi problemi üzerinde en etkili özellikler kullanıcı özellikleridir. Modelde kullandığımız toplam 5 kullanıcı özelliği en etkili 7 özellik arasında yer almıştır. Bütün özellikler kullandığında kullanıcı özelliklerinin etkisinin baskınlığı ve önerdiğimiz özelliklerin tweet özellikleri kategorisinde yer alabilecek olmasından dolayı önerdiğimiz özelliklerin etkisini gözlemleyebilmek için sadece tweet özelliklerinin kullanıldığı bir model eğittik. Sadece tweet özelliklerinin girdi olduğu model sonucunda 0.61 civarı doğruluk ve bir skor elde ettik. Önerdiğimiz 5 özelliğin kendi başına nasıl sonuç verdiğini gözlemlemek için de sadece bu 5 özelliğin yer aldığı bir model eğittik. Ve 0.9'luk bir doğruluk skoru elde ettik bundan da. Çalışmamızın asıl amacı olan önerdiğimiz özelliklerin diğer tweet özelliklerinin etkisini görmek için 10 tweet özelliğine 5 özgün özelliği ekleyerek 0.67 ile model üzerinde %5-6 arası bir iyileştirme gerçekleştirdik. Son olarak önerdiğimiz özelliklerin diğer tweet özelliklerine göre önem sıralamasını görmek için importance fonksiyonu ile bütün tweet özelliklerinin üretilme problemi üzerinde önem grafiğini oluşturduk. Grafiğe bakıldığında önerdiğimiz özelliklerden TF-IDF total score ve büyük harf küçük harf oranı özelliklerinin ikisinin en önemli tweet özellikleri olduğunu tespit ettik. Bununla birlikte diğer 3 özelliğinde yer aldığı bütün tweet özelliklerinin tweet almada olan etkisini sıraladık. Anlatacaklarım bu kadar benim. Son olarak kullandığımız kaynakların listesini de ekledim ve slaytı bitiriyorum. Dinlediğiniz için teşekkür ederim.
Teşekkür ederiz sunumunuz için. Let's go on with the next paper. The title of the paper is IoT-enabled smart solution for rice disease detection, yield prediction, and remediation. Are the authors of this paper here?
Yes.
Okay, if you are ready, you can share your screen.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Nishara Vaninayaka from Sri Lanka. The research topic is IoT-enabled smart solution for rice disease detection, yield prediction, and remediation. This research was supported by Sri Lanka Institute of Information Technology, collaborate with Sri Lanka Rice Research and Development Institute. And this is our research team. When we talk about our project description, as everyone knows that rice is a staple food in Sri Lanka, and rice covers 708,000 hectares, which is the largest area of land in Sri Lankan agriculture. Then rice cultivation is the livelihood of more than 1.8 million farmers. More than 30% of the total labor force is directly or indirectly involved in the rice sector. The important thing is rice cultivation contributed 2.7% of the Sri Lanka's gross domestic products. But do you know that one of the major challenges for the rice production is lost due to the pest and disease outbreaks? Among those pest and disease outbreaks, rice blast and the rice strips damage are considered the most devastating diseases that affected to the rice industry because due to those two diseases, annual rice will reduce greatly. When we discuss about the rice blast disease, rice blast caused by the fungus Magnapod oryzae. Rice blast is named as leaf blast, nodal blast, panicle blast, neck blast based on the part of the plant infected. Blast symptoms appear on the leaves as elliptical spot with red color centers and reddish edge. By ignoring the first stages of the rice blast disease, when the disease reach the neck blast stage, it is not possible to save the rice plant by providing the pesticide, because after reaching the neck blast stages, rice plant will definitely die. Therefore, early detection of the symptoms of the rice blast disease and provide remedies for that is very important to prevent the disease. The same as in the rice blast disease, rice strips damage are the most important disease for the rice industry. Rice strips damage caused by the rice strips, and these insects are present in all rice environment, and strips damage occur during the seeding stage or 2 weeks after the early showing. And these are the symptoms that can occur into the rice strips damage. except those disease, by discussing with Rice Research and Development Institute and the farmers, we found out some problems that the farmers face currently in the rice cultivation. They are how to spray recommended pesticides for the relevant disease, how to use crowdsource to make stakeholder awareness of the disease dispersion, and how to select the best rice variety according to the agricultural area, and how to know in advance about the yield that can be obtained from the paddy field. To address those problems, we divide our solutions to the 4 main components. They are real-time detection and classifications of the rice tips damage and rice blast disease, and develop smart IoT device and spray the recommended pesticides, and predict the disease dispersion and crowdsource for the information sharing, and the rice yield prediction and recommend the most suitable rice variety according to the agricultural area. By fulfilling our sub-objective, we are able to achieve our main objective. The main objective is intelligent device to detect and provide remedies for the rice disease and yield prediction. By fulfilling our main objective, we are able to achieve those 4 sustainable development goals. They are life on land, responsible consumptions and productions, industry innovations and infrastructure, and zero hunger. Same as every research, our research also have the uniqueness. The uniqueness of our research is this is the first time in the world identify rice blast disease and rice chips damage using real-time object detection, and the smart device attached to the drone which identify and provide the remedies for the disease, also provide predictions for the disease dispersion based on the environmental factors. And this is the first time in the world predict the most suitable rice variety according to the agricultural area. So we can directly use drone to identify rice disease, but there is a problem on that. This video explains what is the problem. As you can see in this video, the problem is the wind power of the drone. To provide the solutions for the wind power, we implement the smart intelligent device to attach to the drone. This is the smart intelligent device we develop to attach the drone. Using that intelligent device, we get the GPS and we did the target spray, and this intelligent device give a live stream for the real-time object detection. To the disease identification, first we have to create the data set. To create the data set, we visit to the field visits to Sri Lanka Rice Research and Development Institute and collect the data. This video explains how we collect the data. After getting the aerial videos, as you see in the previous video, we extract the images from that aerial video. These are the sample images that we extract from the video. After extract these images, we divide the images to 3 classes: healthy, thrips damage, and rice blast to the disease classification. And we did the data augmentation and data pre-processing also. To the disease classification, we use transfer learning-based architectures. They are exceptions, Inception v3, MobileNet v2, DenseNet 121, Inception, ResNet v2, and VGG 16. These are the accuracy we got from those architectures. By considering loss value and the accuracy, we select the DenseNet 121 as the best architecture for disease classification. And this is the data visualization for DenseNet 121. For the real-time object detection, we use YOLO v5 object detection algorithm for get a high accuracy. And this is the number of images we use for each class in real-time object detection. And for the select-based rice variety and the yield prediction, we use these machine learning-based algorithm. For the rice variety recommendation, we use logistic regression model, decision tree, random forest model, and XGBoost model. And these are the models we use for the rice yield prediction. By considering lost value and the accuracy, we select XGBoost model for the rice variety recommendation. And these are the data visualization for XGBoost model. And this is the data visualization for yield prediction decision tree model. Finally, we pin the infected location, you can see in this map, and we get using this location, we calculate the disease dispersion, and we share the disease dispersion through the crowdsourced platform, as you can see in this image. This is all about our research. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your presentation. Dear participants, are there any questions about this presentation? Okay, I guess there are no questions. Let's go on with the next paper. The title of the paper is Review of User Experience Models in the Context of E-Learning Setting. Are the authors here? I guess they are not here. The other paper is Data Analytics on Opportunities for Women in the Field of Technology. Are the authors here?
Yes, sir, I am here.
Okay, you can share your screen.
Sure, sir. Is my screen visible, sir?
Yes, we can see your screen and you can start.
Okay, sir. So now coming to our research paper is on data analytics on women opportunities in the field of technology, and our ID is 94. And we are a team of 6 authors, and I am the presenter here, Sai Satvik Kosuru. And we are from BVRIT, BV Raj Institute of Technology, and we are working under the Association of Vishnu Society, Sri Vishnu Educational Society. So we are thankful to our institution for providing this opportunity. And moreover, I am thankful to the conference chairs and authorities of ORA 2023, ORA Congress 2023, and IEEE Turkey section for giving us this opportunity to present the paper. So now let us move into our research findings. So first, let us discuss about the contextual details about the paper. So as said already, our paper is Data Analytics on Women Opportunities in the Field of Technology, and we are from India. And our domain is related to data analytics, which is provided as other topics in the conference website. And we are 6 authors. And coming to the research method, we are dealing with mixed methods research. So mixed methods research is dealing with both quantitative and qualitative aspects of data. And another thing is that coming to the technique used, we used judgment or purposive sampling technique. So judgment or purposive sampling technique means we are taking the data which is only relevant to the purpose, and we are removing all the unnecessary and noisy data. And let us move through. And coming to the motivation for the paper, the exploding gradient of technology innovations, new innovations and new inventions every day is motivated us to do this research. And another thing is there is a call for gender equality, and many government laws, promulgations and resolutions are being proposed in the direction of women empowerment and women development. And in recent advertisements and announcements, they are also driving more women innovation and creativity, that too in particularly in the field of technology. That's the reason why we focused on this particular topic. And when we see about the starting of this research process, actually ours was a dilapidated start. Actually, it's irony to say, because this is a good research, but still there are some very few resources related to this particular research, mainly related to technology. The resources are almost rare or void. So this gave us enormous intention to continue this particular research. During the initial stages, we proposed data mining techniques, because it's a latent representation. We do not have a complete idea unless and until we collect the complete data. We did not get the complete data. So initially we thought to do data mining on the collected data. Coming to the data collection part, the data was collected on 3 particular fronts. There are events, internships, and internships and scholarships. And we have considered each and every opportunity, and mainly gender equality, inclusivity, and diversity. These were the major grounds considered while selecting all the opportunities. And we ensured that all the privacy and security rules of the data collection process is being followed. In order to follow through all the policies and regulations, we have followed everything, and everything was done in a systematic manner. And coming to the deep analysis of this data collected, first let us go through scholarships. So scholarships are financial support or economic support given to the female societies. This is given for continuing education or for doing research or for pursuing higher degrees. Mainly the amounts of 5,000 to 10,000 in terms of Indian currency are offered to the selected people as part of the scholarships opportunity. And in this particular field, multinational companies are dominating while providing this. And the proportion of the scholarships for women opportunities, it is proportionately the largest. It is largest in proportion when compared to other events. When coming to events, here mainly the welfare associations are dominating here. The welfare associations related to women development, they're providing more of these opportunities. And a significant number of events are organized every year, and the duration normally varies from 1 hour to 5 days events. And even the supporters who support gender equality and diversity and inclusivity, they're also invited to this particular events. Coming to internships, though the number of internships when compared to the whole of the opportunities is less, they are still significant. Still, there are some other miscellaneous things which we can consider other than scholarships, events, and internships. But we could not cover all of them due to some presentation and paper constraints. But we have done a deeper research of all of them: fellowships, scholarships, research opportunities. Like that, we have taken a diverse data. And coming to the research method or procedure, our procedure was data analytics. We analyzed the collected data, and it was done in 2 phases: Excel business analytics intelligence and Power Business Intelligence. So first we have collected the data, we have analyzed it and tabulated it in an Excel sheet, and we have applied Excel analytics on it to standardize the format of the collected data. And then the data analytic tools are sorted out for the suitable one. So whatever that thing which is suitable, we have collected the data itself. And the selected tool was implemented, and the results were analyzed, and proper insights were taken at the end of this research. And when we want to take an overview of the collected data, now if you could see here, there are 2 tables here. We want to give a brief overview, overall overview. If you could see scholarships, Anita Borg Memorial Scholarship, Adobe Research Women in Technology Scholarship, Women in Technology Scholarship, Women in STEM Scholarship, etc. And coming to events, Flipkart Runaway, Women Engineers, Ignite Spark, Microsoft Codes, Adobe She Codes, etc. Like that, we have collected hundreds of data. Totally, we have collected around 500 events, scholarships, like 500 opportunities were collected. This is just an overall overview. Later, coming to the tools, we have considered 4 tools. Power BI. This is a visualization tool by Microsoft. We have applied this tool in our particular research because it is simple and it supports only one cloud service. It is used for simple data sets. When coming to Tab View, it is given by Salesforce, and it is capable of handling large data sets, and it has multi-cloud support, but it is complex for the collected data. When coming to Hadoop, it is a data mining thing which is used to get the data patterns among the collected data. But we thought, according to the collected data, we cannot apply this particular software. Excel analytics were used to standardize the format of the collected data. So the techniques which were used are Excel Analytics and Power BI. In Excel Analytics, we have created spreadsheets. In the spreadsheets, we have used the judgment sampling, as I've said already, and we have standardized the format and made into a suitable format for doing further rounds of research. In Power BI, we have drilled through the data points that we have collected, and we have created all the visualizations. And based on these visualizations, we could create some insights, useful insights. Power BI visualizations and insights. Coming to them, we have created water flow chart, bar chart, pie chart, scatter plot, line plot, and many other charts. We can't mention all of them. Only the things which are relevant, only the plots which can be plotted on this particular data are considered here. But the main challenge was that the amount of data that we have collected is very small. And so we need to enlarge it. So that was the major time. It was a time consuming thing. So the major proportion of the research focused on enlarging this particular data set in order to make it Power BI compatible. And coming to this, these are the reports. Now I am going to show you the plots. This is the report on scholarships. If you could see on the y-axis, the years when this scholarship started, that is present. On the x-axis, all the scholarships are present. If you could see, majority of the events are started after the year 2000. And even before 2000, there are events. But if you could see, around 1950, the events from 1950 to 2000, very less number of scholarships are proposed. But after 2000, it was so many. That's means it is a positive sign that the number of scholarships introduced by organizations is increasing. And here, if you could see, this is the column plot, which shows the ratio between the number of people benefited and some of the when they were started. And if you could see, as we go through the events, in many of the events, we could see the number of people benefited is more. And if you could see in initial stages, it was dark blue indicates that the year when they were started, and the light blue indicates the number of people benefited. With this, we can see a positive sign of increasing number of females benefiting from this opportunity. And in events, if you could see, this is the scholarship reports on events. When you could see, there's a very huge positive gradient. If you could see from 2010, it is continuously increasing. If you could see this plot, and even here, this is a waterfall chart, which is showing the gradient, the differences. If it's a very positive trend, which indicates that the women are given more events as part of their opportunities when compared to scholarships. Let's analyze theoretically. When coming to scholarships, there's a sharp increase from 1990s, and there's a gradual increase on an annual basis. But when coming to scholarships, there's a significant slowdown because slope is zeroing. So we need to diversify the resources, and we need to disperse the funds in order to introduce more scholarships. When coming to events, there are totally positive gradients when we are observing. The slope is not zeroing. So we can see that it's a very positive thing. The number of events are increasing year by year, and it is more dense. The number of events introduced per year is more dense than the number of scholarships, which are sparse. And the overall summative assessments of women opportunities and technology, we can say that scholarships and events are contributing to 90% of women opportunities. Internships, research, and fellowship opportunities are existing, but they're insignificant when compared to these scholarships and events. Overall statistics, they leave a positive connotation on the advent of women opportunities in the near future. These statistics may be useful for the related stakeholders in this process of women opportunities. Now, coming to the impact, due to the statistics, we can say that in employability, the biases will be decreased, and more women can be hired, and there will be increased diversity in terms of technical empowerment and employability. And partisan-free policies and regulations may be introduced in favor of women. And there will be identification of gaps in terms of all around developments of companies in terms of biases and partisans. And coming to the conclusion, the process of research and its implementation, they form the core part, because the data collection process itself is the major portion of this research, because there are very less existing works in this particular domain. Data mining and data querying tools may be useful for the future purposes. We are going to continue this research. Organizations can use this data to leverage the impact of their women-only programs, thus thereby enabling more women opportunities in the future. Future work, we want to create a system that automates the process of data collection, which is not only exclusive to women opportunities, but it is related to all other domains. And we want to create other data analytic methods. We want to include here data mining and data warehouse technologies also we want to introduce. And we are currently working on an accelerated pace in this direction. And we assure you of the completion of this future work by the next conference, Aura Congress 2024. So we will be awaiting for our second presentation in the 2024 conference. So any questions or suggestions here? These are our findings. Any questions or suggestions?
Thank you very much for your presentation. Dear participants, are there any questions? I guess there are no questions. We can go on with the next paper.
Okay, sir. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
You are welcome. We can go on with the next paper. The title of the paper is Valuable Insights Framework for Big Data and Analytics in the Malaysian Public Sector Organization. Are the authors here?
Yes, doctor. I'm here.
Okay, you can share your screen.
Okay, thank you. Can you see my presentation, doctor?
Yes, we can see and you can start.
All right, thank you. So Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good evening to the members of the conference. My name is Yuniza Muhammad Zain, the author of this paper, supported by the co-author, Dr. Suraya, and others. So today I'm going to present a paper titled Valuable Insights, Framework for Big Data Analytics in the Malaysian Public Sector Organizations. So before we proceed, this is a table of content that I will cover during the presentation. Number one will be the motivation and objective. Number two is overview of big data analytics in the public sector. Number three is research methodology. Fourth is a project analysis and discussions. And number fifth is conclusion and future works. So this is the motivation that to ensure the output from data analytics is meaningful and valuable to the organizations. Why we are doing this paper is because three objectives, which includes to identify data analytics values from business perspective. Number two is to propose a framework of valuable insights for data analytics. And three is to evaluate the framework for valuable insight from Malaysia Public Services. So in today's global market, big data analytics is actually quickly becoming one of the key factors for success. So the public sector becomes increasingly aware of the potential benefits of using the big data as governments produce and gather enormous amounts of data via routines operations. So the growth of the big data phenomenon and accessibility of technology have enabled new innovations and opening up of government and private agencies to enhance the quality of service provided to the public. So big data's potential advantage for the current economic environment are piquing the interest of the public sector. So big data's potential worth is becoming more and more apparent to the public sector. So accordingly, the public stakeholder that must perform the role of data in the consumer in a way that enables data to be used for the facilitation of decision-making and public policy making, service delivery, organizational management, and innovation. So in Malaysia, various big data initiatives are implemented, focusing on the mandate received, whether through project implementations or by proof of concept, to improve the government's capacity to make decisions based on facts and data, the development of local talents, and at the same time responding to the critical demand or need of the country. So research method I'm using is deductive qualitative analysis, DQA, which refers to a top-down approach, or conformity or theory-based analysis, which will start with abstract theory and move to more specific observations so that they can support the hypothesis and later improvising the previously built framework. So the methodology is less prescriptive, more flexible and open-ended so that participants can express topics that are important to them. So participants in the study have chance to reveal without the researcher putting any predefined thoughts and opinions on them. So participants shared perspectives on the phenomenon under examination. So SDQ will be used as basis in study. There will be 5 stages or phases that will be included in this framework. Phase 1 will cover identifying the characteristic of all keywords. So this will act as a ground-based theory. Now, phase 2 includes developing proposed conceptual framework. Now, this framework will act as a hypothesis that we're going to test. In phase 3, in order to test the framework, a preliminary interview will be conducted with 6 selected agencies. Now, this activity includes getting all related data and documents. And phase 4 will include data analysis, where all documents and results from the preliminary interview are being conducted. So the method that is being used in this phase is deductive coding. The last phase, which is phase 5, includes modification and conformity of the aforesaid framework. So the revised framework will be the main findings of the study. So from the issue, there will be some aspects that we have to look into, as this will enhance the knowledge in understanding and information problem or gap. So in this phase, the question for the preliminary interview will be built for the purpose of the interview sessions with the selected agencies, namely Ministry of Education, Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living, Ministry of Works, Ministry of Home Affairs, and as well Department of Statistics Malaysia. So after collecting inputs comes an analysis phase where the results from the of the study will produce recommendations to improvise the build framework. So the elements of BDA, this is the elements of BDA values in the organization. So the elements are based on Kaplan's notes as well as scorecard framework and value creation by Big Data Analysis Framework by Victor EDO 2018. So based on this framework, main elements have been extracted as essential and fundamental items of organizational values. So then more frameworks focusing on values of big data, including Fahey et al. 2019, Lim et al. 2017, Brandenburg, Shanks, Applebaum, Gardner, Nagel, and Salmon, Holstaples. So these values are extracted and listed in the table 1. Using Kaplan's digital paradigm, these elements are categorized and pinpoint 4 main points of values, which includes financial, people, process, research, and innovation. So the core values of BDA is to make organizational decision easier. From digitalization perspective, the technology, technique, or method used to make analytics can frequently affect its quality. So thus, to make informed decisions, organizations are able to make a better judgment based in this in-depth insight that you would otherwise. So hence, this will lead to an insight that is detailed and pertinent enough to inspire actions that can boost productivity, sales, and profits. So in my build framework, decision framework was in my build framework, decision paradigm was driven by the big data analytics insight, which further make decision making through to a bigger perspective and propose the 4 aforementioned main points, which I said before. Now, each point will be explained in the following paragraph. So this is under financial value. Hold on. So under financial value, we have leveraging finance through the use of BDA. BDA entails employing sophisticated data analytics methods to improve borrowing, investment choices based on findings from extensive data analysis, targeted to support financial leverage in making wise decisions. So under people value, BDA has a profound impact on people's and organizations. It changes how decisions are made, how operations are managed, analyzing business pressure, shaping the organization culture as well as business structure. So it requires upskilling and talent development, ethical consideration, and effective change management. By leveraging the power of data analytics, organization and can achieve improved performance, innovations, and competitiveness in today's data-driven business landscape. So under process value, we have BDA can significantly improve a number of organizational processes in modeling of an organization by utilizing data and analytics to optimize business processes. So under big data analytics and research and innovation value, so BDA can stimulate innovation by revealing trends that can result in the creation of fresh goods, services, business models by recognizing emerging possibilities, spot unmet customer demands, and make data-driven decisions on product development and innovation strategies through analyzing market trends. So result analysis prior to respective interviews, the research maps of the analysis based on the elements of the proposed framework, which are data analysis insights of the proposed decision paradigm and impact to the business. So the analysis was being segregated to a theme which includes a bigger topic under respective variables, sub-theme and sub-theme. This is conceptual framework. Okay, so this is a sub-theme or a sub-theme might have one or more elaboration of the topic that being discussed in the interview. So data analysis, the analytics insight. No, from an organizational perspective, the big data insights are the comprehensive understandings that come from information analysis on a specific topic for personal organization. So organizations can make better judgment thanks to in-depth insight than they would otherwise. So prior to interview sessions, a total of 5 themes has been created, which includes making quality and efficient decision making, strategy thinking and planning in decision making, data driven, methods of reference, and transparency and accountability in decision making. So under this digital paradigm is very focal that was facilitated to make decisions. Hence, this topic covers 4 themes, includes secondary and data analysis, data-driven decision making, which includes wiser decision making, as well as creating new data insights. Under value impact of financial, one of the values that derive from the digital paradigm in the framework. So in the analysis, big data analytics can provide rational in decision making, thus creating a more accurate or transparency, while at the same time it does give benefits on leveraging return on investment to minimize cost. Under people, people are one of the important values in order to achieve a good implementation of data-driven decision-making. So a total of 6 themes were identified in order to implement a big data analytics in an organization. A skillful and talented staff are highly needed. So better work culture with efficient segregation tasks will further benefit towards strengthening of leadership and empowered decision-making. Thus, this organization might achieve operational excellence. Last one is a process. So process of value that might highly benefit from BDA shows how data analytics and science can derive a simple and efficient way of doing tasks. Mapping out the response includes 4 things as follows: simplification and expressing of process, continual breakthrough, business process environment improvement, and breaking time silos. Last will be the research and innovation. So in order to correctly forecast the outcome of certain actions of investment, it's crucial to thoroughly examine any reports, statistics, and data that are accessible. So prior to knowledge of the field of play enables a business to prepare for obstacles, avoid them, and create effective operations. So therefore, research is crucial to the administration of virtually in any industry. Prior to the interview, the study collected 4 big themes and created 5 sub-themes and 6 sub-themes. The theme comprised of leveraging new opportunities, expansion of research, prediction of future research, and continual growth.
Sorry, your 10 minutes is over, and you are finished. Thank you.
Okay, I'm the conclusion, Doctor. Okay, so this study conducted a semi-preliminary interview of BDA use scenarios in 6 ministry and agency. So additionally, the study provides a few key ideas using BDA, especially in Malaysian public sector. So this study represents the study gathered from data analytics and science standpoint as a complementary viewpoint. So this study identifies critical obstacles in obtaining strategic value from BDA in the public sector. So prior to the mapping out the interview analysis, it can be concluded that there is an extension towards the sub-value of the framework. So an addition towards the financial value consists of rationale in decision-making, where data analytics are agreed can provide good reasoning. Thus, will create more accurate and transparency decision-making with minimum mistakes. So what from public sector perspective, profit gain is not about getting more money to the government directly, is that give a return value to citizens by providing quality services, now good infrastructure and better living costs. An extension in people's value is an endeavor in BDA insights that can uplift personal bias as more people are well trained in making appropriate decision, while at the same time empower in creating synergy or collaboration between multiple expert domains. Now, this further will increase strengthening of the leadership and achieve operational excellence. So process of value extension will include continual breakthrough consisting of new insights in reviewing the business process of organization, a simplification of a process without leaving behind the main objective, and their main core business will expedite and smoothen the whole working process, which will further assist in easier decision making. So on top of that, breaking time silos can be minimized in the organization as the task is being centralized and each division is highly connected to each other. So this will create a standardization of the overall working process, and addition in research and innovation sub-values includes research expansion as it leads to wider research and certain issues that need to be addressed. So henceforth, it will create new insights and new opportunities to oversee the issue and provide the prediction of future trends that will further fulfill the demand of stakeholders and citizens. Thank you very much. That's all, Doctor.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Are there any questions about this topic? Okay, I guess there are no questions. Let's go on with the next paper. The title of the paper is A Medical History Card Utilizing the Blockchain Technology. I guess the author is here.
Yes,
Okay,
I'm here.
if you are ready, you can share your screen.
Yes. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, we can see your screen and you can start.
Hello, everyone. I am Samia Fairuz, the first author and speaker of paper 207 titled A Medical History Card Utilizing the Blockchain Technology. Firstly, I, on behalf of my three colleagues, Zihadul Islam, Shakila Yasmin Miti, and Mim Tashfia Zaman, would like to express deep and sincere gratitude to the 5th International Congress of Human-Computer Interaction, Optimization, and Robotic Applications for giving us this opportunity to present our work. By the end of the presentation, you'll be introduced to the implementation, functionalities, and outcomes of a medical history card that is diligently committed to accelerating advancements in the healthcare world. Let me start with a brief overview of the medical history card. Some of the typical questions of every household are, where do I find the extra reports from, say, 2 years back? Which vaccine did I give my child when she was 3 months old? Again, let's quickly assume a man hit by a long vehicle cannot express or recall his personal history. Being utterly blind to his medical records, the physicians had several questions like, what medications was he on? Does he have high blood pressure or diabetes? What was his blood group? The answers to these questions are just a single history card aimed at working as a trustworthy medical associate. The MHC terminates the conventional papered method of preserving patients' medical history by introducing a portable card that accumulates every tiny detail such as personal narratives, prescriptions, reports, drugs, vaccine history, blood transfusion history, and family history followed by the doctor's suggestions. The card will not only accumulate EMRs under a single plan of action, but also limit access to the respective users through blockchain technology. Our first and foremost goal in introducing this medical history card is to bring an individual's entire medical records under a single platform to work as a bridge of efficient communication between healthcare providers and the patients. Most importantly, MHC would perform as an emergency card containing blood group, emergency contact, and significant diseases. All the detailed information will be displayed as soon as the distinct health ID is given to the system. Besides, the website would show the disease's name and the vaccination dose, enabling people to understand their immunization histories thoroughly. As an overview, the web application consists of 4 users: patient, doctor, vaccine staff, and report staff. The system diagram, as shown in the picture, encapsulates the functional workflow of the users where access to the medical records has been restricted for security concerns. Although both the patients and doctors can view all the records of the patient, however, only doctors can update some of the sections. By contrast, the other 2 users can view only the patient's personal history and relevant sectors. Moreover, with the help of the internet, a patient's confidential records would be stored in MongoDB and smart contract databases through blockchain technology, respectively. Moving to the implementation, the front-end infrastructure has been built using React, HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. Similarly, the backend server was built with Node.js and 2 databases to store the data. While MongoDB stores the conventional data, the Ethereum smart contract consists of significant EMRs to ensure extra security in the long run. The Web3 application programming interface API was deployed to connect the front end and the backends. Moreover, as a wallet for Ether expenditure, the MetaMask has been used. Now, the results of the medical history card website will be introduced to you with some real views of it. Let's first start with the functionalities of a doctor. A doctor can view all the medical records, but only upload a person's personal history and prescriptions. Here is an example of a doctor uploading a patient's personal history. He can update his personal history by selecting the problem type and the name. Now, we can visualize. Now we can visualize a demo where a doctor uploads a patient's prescription. It is mentionable that he can upload prescriptions as images or PDF file as illustrated in the picture here. Moving to the following user, the vaccine staff. Some steps have been given here where a vaccine staff upload a patient's vaccination record. The disease's name for which the vaccine is taken will be automatically displayed when the vaccine's name is selected from the drop-down box. The number of doses has to be chosen likewise. Let's shed some light on the functionalities of a report staff similar to the vaccine staff. The report staff can also upload images or PDF files of the reports inside the investigation profile. Additionally, they can also update the blood transfusion history. Given doing so, first, they have to select the blood transfused amount using the first drop-down box, and then using the second box, they can choose the blood type, like whether it is plasma, RBC, WBC, or platelets. Next, I'll focus on one of the most important users of MHC, the patient. The patient would get to see the health ID right after registering onto the website. They can use this health ID to log into the website. The medical history card has a unique QR code as shown in the picture here. Doctors and patients can see the patient's health ID by scanning the QR code from it. After signing in, patients can download the card as a PDF file and print it out for future references. Above all, one of the most essential features of the medical history card is to visualize all the medical information in the navigation bar at the center. Patients can have a broader view of the prescriptions and the reports inside the investigation profile. Likewise, they can download PDFs and print them out too. Other than the reports and the prescriptions, patients can only view the rest features, for instance, drug history, vaccination history, blood transfusion history, etc. Also, they can take screenshots for easier monitoring. Afterward, I'll briefly emphasize the contribution and comparison of our web application. The concept of electronically storing medical records has continued for a long time. The approach of keeping EMRs digitally in a centralized manner has been cited in several research works. In 2018, Aleftina et al. Introduced a blockchain-based healthcare data management, particularly for sharing data between healthcare providers, wherein they used a cloud-based platform to save patients' data after encrypting using the associated patient's key. Another similar work, namely a blockchain-based data sharing system, was imparted, where patients had control over their EMRs and institutions could access the data without even worrying about the patient's privacy. 3 years later, in 2021, a health passport to gather a patient's medical data, such as medical images, clinical reports, lab results, and dental reports, was introduced. Patients could use their smartphone devices to merge their medical history from any healthcare provider and update their vitals, for instance, blood pressure, heart rate, height, weight, body temperature, and so on. Even with the multi-purpose utilization of EMRs so far, the appropriate groundwork is not yet developed to gather and safeguard them within a single card. The data encryption methods used in the previous works are expensive and time-consuming. Moreover, the patients may miss any records if they have to upload them independently. Some might even provide corrupted data. The current research focuses on overcoming these drawbacks of the previous works. Specifically, blockchain technology was chosen to avoid fabricating the crucial medical information and to ensure that neither doctors nor patients could conceal any information. The features had been incorporated so that it covers every essential medical record. On top of that, the card being free is more efficient than a gadget-based server and could be issuable to all the citizens whatsoever. Additionally, there is no chance of data loss as none can edit, alter, or delete any past information from the card. Above all, physicians will be secure from doing inappropriate treatment by the hypothetical information given by the patients. Solving all these shortcomings of the related works, the medical history card would definitely add significant value to the technological advancement of the medical world. Lastly, we have multiple aspirations to work with this in the future. We would incorporate microchips and biometric fingerprints to make it an advanced electronic microchip-based smart history card. The website can also be utilized as proof of health insurance, as the records have been stored through blockchain technology. Regarding family history, the website would dynamically set family history by matching one's health ID with his parents. An ER recommendation for assisting doctors would be incorporated. For instance, if anyone sees a gynecologist, the prescriptions, investigation profile, and drug history of the other gynecologist will be displayed first. A search bar will be added to facilitate the search of any specific medical information by typing relevant keywords. Even with this, a filter feature will also be added where the doctors can search the EMR of a patient using a particular year. Another vital part would be notifying clients about their next vaccination date so that people doesn't mix their vaccinations and when test results are posted onto the website. To conclude, the medical history card would act as a multifunctional history card system to become the best companion of one's healthcare world. A quick outlook of the history card will give the doctors a clearer overview of the patient's entire medical records to ensure precise and well-aimed treatment everywhere. The availability of such a history card can successfully ensure effective healthcare management in the long run. That's all from us. I'd highly appreciate any queries. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. Are there any questions about this topic? I guess there are no questions. Thank you again. Let's move on with the next paper. The title of the paper is Enhancing the Programming Sequence for Undergraduate Computer Science Students, a Program for Improving Learning Outcomes. Are the authors here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can share your screen.
Hello, everyone. I am Mushfiqur Rahman. I am from Arkansas Tech University, and our project title is Enhancing the Programming Sequence for Undergraduate Computer Science Students, a Program for Improving Learning Outcomes. So let's talk about the table of content first. So I'll first talk about the background, and then I'll talk about the purpose or the objective of our project. Then I'll talk about the methodology, then results, and then the survey results. So first, background history. So every year, various students from different STEM courses from Arkansas Tech University take the three programming sequence course like Programming 1, Programming 2, and Data Structures. And the Department of Engineering and Computing Science was struggling to retain those students. The DFW rate for those PS courses from 2015 to 2019 was 32%, 35%, and 27%. So the DFW rate for Programming 1 course was 32%, as shown in the figure, and for Programming 2, it was 35%, and for Data Structure, it was 27%. So after the DFW rate was very alarming for the Department of Engineering and Computing Science. So our main objective for this project was to reduce the DFW rate and so by 10% each year. So for this to achieve this goal, our department takes some initiative. So first of all, our department created a tutoring lab for the students who are not good at programming. Then they implement some communication and collaboration tools like Discord and WebEx for the students to get help from the other faculties members and the other students. And then they also align the programming, align our curriculum, and also made students familiar with platforms like GitHub and HackerRank. And they also developed some training program for faculties, and also encourage our faculty members to participate in a different national conference to receive training in new curriculum. So our action plan, our first action plan was to create a comprehensive programming tutoring lab. So in spring 2020-22, we established a tutoring lab using the previous students from those courses who done well in those courses. And our second action plan was to develop a social media reaction system. Like we introduced some social media platform like Discord, WebEx, and for the students, they can so the students can get help from the other students and the other faculty members and the other people who are good at in different programming languages. So our third action plan was to programming sequence curriculum alignment. We have also made some changes to our programming sequence curriculum, regardless of whether a student is in different sections or attending a different faculty course. They all receive the same curriculum for the same course to improve student performance and to better prepare for the students for the future. They made a contact between the faculties, and we have made the curriculum same for all the sections and all the for the same course. And our action plan 4 was to programming sequence curriculum alignment faculty development in new programming sequence pedagogies. So we have developed a training system for our faculties and encouraged them to participate in different national conference. So that was our action plan, and then we got our result in last fall 2022. Our target was to reduce our DFW rate by 10% each year. So for programming one, our DFW rate was 32%. We have a target to make it 22%, and we have successfully reduced it to 23%. And for programming 2, our DFW rate was 35%, and our target was to make it 25%, and we successfully reduced it to 15%. And for data structure course, our target, our DFW rate was 27%, and we have reduced it to, our target was to make it 17%, and we have successfully made it to 0%. And this is the our DFW rate from 2015 to 2019 to last fall 2020-22. So our target was to make it 23%, and we made our target was to make it 22%, and we made it to 23%. And for programming 2, our DFW rate was 35%, and our target was to make 25%, and we made it to 15%. And for data structure course, our DFW rate was 27%, and our target was to make it 17%, and we made it to 0%. And so this is the survey result from the students, how they are using our different initiatives they are using. They're using our tutoring lab. They are taking help from the tutoring lab in person and via WebEx or via email, and they also contact our faculties and other students in the outside of the classroom. And this is the survey result, how they are using the different platform we introduced for the betterment of the students. So this is the survey result from programming 1. They are using that GitHub, Discord, LeetCode, and HackerRank, different platforms like this. And they are also taking help from our tutoring lab. They are also contacting our faculty members outside the classroom. And this is the survey result from our programming 2 course. They're using GitHub, Discord, and LeetCode, and they're also taking help from our tutoring lab and also from our instructors outside the classroom. And this is the survey result from our data structure course. And in our survey, for programming 1, 40 students participates in the survey, and for programming 2, 22 students participates in the survey, and for data structure course, 18 students participated in the survey. And in conclusion, our project was solely student-centric, and our tutoring lab will also help us identify the problem areas in the different programming sequence courses. And with the curriculum alignment implemented in PS programming sequence courses, the students will get similar standard regardless of the section or the faculty teaching the section. And our target was to make the average DFW rate 10% for all the 3 programming sequences courses by this fall 2023. And our project was funded by the Arkansas Tech Innovation Grant, and I am really thankful to my mentor Robin Ghosh, Dr. Robin Ghosh, and the other faculty members who are related to this project.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. Are there any questions about this topic? I guess there are no questions. Thank you again. Let's go on with the next paper. The title of the paper is Time Optimized Detection of Cardiovascular Complication with Artificial Intelligence in Rescue Operations using FPGA-based wearable.
Okay, please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. You can share your screen.
Thank you. Can you confirm you can see my screen?
Yes, we can see, and you can start. You have 10 minutes to complete your presentation.
Thank you. My name is Anibiet Michael Ezekiel, and I am presenting the time-optimized detection of cardiovascular complications with artificial intelligence in rescue operation using FPGA-based wearable. This work was for the rescue operation, and I'm from the University of Siegen in Germany, then working with Professor Roman Obermeiser also. In this work, I will talk about the research gap and methods we used to close some of those gaps, and also the output of our research. What brought about this work was the frequent issues in the rescue mission. Patients have things like several diseases, but the ability to choose or know which of the problem is being faced has always been a challenge. And so this is a social security project where we're trying to detect patients with cardiovascular disease that leads to most of the mortality and mobility rates of death worldwide. And there was a need for a timely and accurate detection, and the result will lead to performing prompt cardiovascular resuscitation process, which is very important during rescue operation. Neural network is already existing with several potentials, and there are already some related works for detection of cardiovascular complication. However, the practicability of those solutions are very limited, especially in resource-constrained environments. One of the work that was cited in our paper is working on the CPU, which requires taking the physical CPU to the site, and you need to look for things like power to power the device, and it's actually not very portable, very complex system you need to set up. And so for us, we looked at solving this problem by using an FPGA-based system. The other one could be the time required to get the results, and the efficiency and accuracy was always a problem in most of the previous research. So things like high computations is very interesting thing to look at, and how the latency of the hardware, how high it is, was also good. But traditional CPUs, of course, could give us good results. However, like I mentioned before, power consumption and setup complexity are always a challenge. So for us, we look at solving this problem using the FPGA-based wearable, and we look at removing these limitations we have in the CPU-based approach. Our device also will be able to monitor the patient health and also give a timely detection. For example, if the patient's situation changes with time, it should keep on checking and giving us the most recent probability of the patient's response to the cardiovascular issues. So we propose another system that could optimize the time for the inference time, and that is saving the parameters of the intermediate layers and reusing them in subsequent runs. So the methods we used was to organize the data. This data was gotten from the Siegen-Wittgenstein rescue station for 10 years. And then it contains about 2,073,000 unique cases with over 4,400 attributes. 340 attributes were found to be related to what we should use. And then we sorted out that and got about 68,000, approximately 69,000 rescue cases. Including rescue cases was things like cardiovascular, respiratory, abdominal, infection, neurological, psychiatric, and a lot of other ones which are also related to rescue operation issues. However, for this work, we are looking at only the cardiovascular complication. So for cardiovascular complication, 33 key features were relevant, and it includes things like the demographics of the patient, health vitals like the respiratory rate, the blood pressure, and the SpO2. So a previous work was done to use the KERAS library to develop an ANN model. And then the model was tuned and with 4 different kind of tuners. Then the final model was actually built and used for the next step. Now, we looked at bringing this into the hardware instead of the CPU. We actually evaluated different types of hardware. And then the one that was most promising was the Trends TE0802 FPGA. It has a lot of interesting features like the I/O features. It's also an UltraScale Plus MPOC FPGA, so it can give us a lot of interesting features. So that became our baseline of choice for this implementation. And the final aim is to put a variable like this that is going to be used during the rescue operation. We looked at using a compiler stack called TVM because it is very widely used and it's actually had the baseline we needed for this project. However, using TVMC comes with some other limitations and some other complexities. For us, we use both the TVM and the TVMC, which is a tensor versatile machine compiler. That is a Python command line just to deploy models. And for TVM, it operates on this sketch. It has the input model, the load the model, and then we tune the model, we can compile it and then run it on the target device, which is for us the FPGA, which is the hardware we are using. However, the chosen FPGA had these issues of having the operating system. TVM works easily with the Pink Linux, and so it only supports FPGAs with pre-built Pink operating system. So one of the layer of complexity was for us to develop our own custom operating system to work with this environment. So we did that by developing through this tool chain. We got the BSP. We've now produced an image that we now later run into the SD card and flash it into the FPGA. With this, we could get the environments. The second part of the problem is running neural network directly on the Pink Linux requires some libraries to be installed. One of them is a TensorFlow library because of the model we are using. However, cross-compiling and building TensorFlow libraries and its dependencies for FPGAs like ours is frustrating most times. People have used things like bootstrapping, using the Basel, and some of them use the QMA environments. And this has a lot of drawbacks because of the complexities in the environment. So for us, we introduced a new approach by building TensorFlow on a Conda environment. Then we'll install the dependencies using a command called the OpenBlast. So with this, it brings up all the vectorized blocks. And then that gave us our operating system. And we now come to use PyTorch model because it has a lot of features for our time optimization technique. So it could give us a dynamic computational graph. And with that graph, we could actually flow and restructure models, restructure the layers, and then save the models as we want flexibly. So in our optimization methodology, we loaded the model, saved intermediate layers at each run, at a single run, and then in the next run, we could use those extracted output parameters and we put it in the next model. So in the results, we could see clearly here that we had 2 approaches. One of them is using a single patient, and that gave us about 2.11 millisecond inference time compared to the CPU. So we had about 90% improvement. For the second approach, we could run in batches of 10 patients simultaneously. For example, for times we have crowd casualties, and we are aiming at sensitive information like that, we need to get the data very fast. So this approach, we could save 20% of the time. And then for our FPGA, you could see our FPGA outperform maybe other low-cost FPGAs. For the time optimization technique we used, original model gave us about 40 milliseconds. But if we skip these layers in subsequent runs, we could have as low as 11 milliseconds in our process. This also is a comparison between the CPU and the FPGA. We can also see from the trend that the CPU actually took longer time to give us our inference time compared to the FPGA. So in summary, our approach gave us a very good result with the TE0802 compared to its counterpart, low-cost FPGAs. And then we could actually save intermediate layers and then reuse those parameters in subsequent runs. In our time optimization technique, we could save up to 79% of the inference time when layers 3 is dropped, and we still have an accuracy of 95.9%. In future work, we can look at putting things like the versatile tensor accelerator still part of the TVM, and we could run multiple complications simultaneously and form the wearable as a single wearable for the rescue operation. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Okay, thank you very much for your question, dear participants. Do you have any questions about this presentation? I guess there are no questions. Let's move on with the next paper. The title of the paper is Drug-Target Interaction Prediction Using Convolutional Neural Network. Are the authors here? I guess they are not here. Let's move on with the next paper. The title of the paper is Poultry EGG Classification System Using Deep Learning. Are the authors here?
I'm here.
Okay, you can share your screen.
Okay, thanks. Good evening, everyone. I'm Pasco. I'm going to present the portrait classification system using deep learning. And the introduction of the first part is the characterization of chicken eggs is defined by parameters related to internal and external quality. The approach taken is that of external features such as spots and cracks in the shell. The quality of food products such as the eggs is fundamental for consumers. So a regular quality control process in a critical operation in which eggs are graded for consumption. Cracks in the shell can allow pathogenic agents to contaminate the eggs contents, which can affect to health the consumers. And the following line provides some background information on crack detection method by means of a Gaussian plates and history threshold. The system achieves 92.5% recognition rate in crack eggs. And the other method used of the VGG16 model for the classification of cracks and bootstick eggs, prioritizing the content of white eggs and achieving an accuracy 94%. And the research carried out by Siri in 2020.
Ahora sí me escuchan. ¿Qué tal, ingeniero? Buenos días. Bueno, yo he acabado de egresar de la carrera de Ingeniería de Sistemas. Ya ha pasado 6 meses y me he dedicado a la parte de procesamiento de datos. Estoy yendo por el rol de ingeniero de datos, pero posteriormente voy a ir por el rol de científico de datos. Actualmente en la ciudad de Lima, en la empresa de Vescable, estoy en el área de sistemas y estoy viendo la parte de los datos. En este caso, la base de datos que acá tienen la transaccional es la MariaDB. Sin embargo, para la parte de Data Warehouse está pensando en lo que es Oracle y SQL Server. Por el tema de que esas dos bases de datos permiten la optimización y las particiones, ¿no? Para el...
Next, and the implementation of this next 201
están en on-premise, es decir, están en unos servidores locales que tienen un centro de datos acá. Pero se ha estado visto la posibilidad de migrarlo a nube. Se ha tenido conversaciones con Amazon para ver si es que existe la posibilidad, ¿no? La parte de presupuestos y costos.
Your microphone, please.
Sí, más que todo por la disponibilidad que ofrece, ¿no? Ante las fallas que puede ocurrir siempre. En el Valle. Sí.
Thanks. Then final development of a deep learning based in CCM for the classification of cracked and dirty brown eggs using backline image. And the material methods example, we use 116 unwatched brown eggs we were sold from a local poultry farm. Among the sample collect, there are elements with cracked and dirty. Artificial vision setup. The system was configured with the following elements: camera, conveyor belt with rollers, capture tunnel, LED lighting, control system with Arduino. And the materials method image acquisition, it is determined to which class each sample corresponds. And the elements are moved or rotate as the roller move. The two photographers are taken for each sample with the objective of capturing the majority of the surface, since there are the areas the present variable characteristics, some which cracks are dirty and the other that are healthy. 320 images of eggs are obtained. After the verification, we obtain 70 healthy eggs, 82 cracked, 72 dirty, and 76 dirty cracked. This is the representation of the side view of the sample collection. And the materials methods and healthy and cracked and dirty cracked eggs. This is for examples. The documentation, the number of the image we had to train the network was quite small, consider the classes we had, so we think to use the documentation so that the network can understand the different classes. The transformation we applied were horizontal, vertical transformation, rotation, constant, cropping. Pictures should be visible over the entire surface. And then of the process, 1,500 images of unwatched eggs were obtained. And other examples, the image. And the convolutional neural network, the present model architecture have had a superior accuracy to different CNNs, excelling in crack elements and classification tasks. And the BGG19 network as a classification block, and as an investigation had already been carried out with BGG16, we want to know what will happen with upper layer models, and so we also consider using the ResNet 34 and 50. For ResNet model, an output with 4 classes was assigned, and the fully connect layer for output. And this is head block and fully connect, draw out, and fully connect, draw out, and fully connect. And in this part, the configuration of hyperparameters, batch size, total size of 32 and 64 in order, achieving high accuracy. Some articles found that using a smaller batch size, such as 16, 32, and 64, could improve the accuracy percent compared to a large batch that were considered 32 and 64. And in the learning rate is the first part, the convolution layers and the fully connect layers, because the pre-training weights need to be adjusted to our specific case, and they already have a pre-training establishing structure. The adjustment they is made is less than 1 word and weight are new in the case of the final layer of the classification block. Therefore, the setting on this part, on pre-training layer in this part. It has a decay rate of 15%. During the previous training, it was observed that the accuracy is attained in a certain point, around 95%. It was assumed that the modification of the learning rate in the final part were very large. For this reason, it was decided to give in a period the reduction. And the pre-training and fine-tuning, the weights used from the team library and the fine-tuning, and 20%, the order layer was removed. The evaluation metrics, accuracy, precision, sensitive, and F1 score. In result of the accuracy of the model, the result of the validation accuracy during the training is close to 100%. In addition, this some of the models such as ResNet 34 and 19. Then the finished training faster to the configuration early stopping is the validation accuracy of the model proposed during training, and the top 3 models from the table were found replace BG19 in training way with batch size 64 with accuracy. The second model was BG19 but batch size 32, and finally a ResNet 50. And the result, quantitative classification result for this matrix, it was found the cracked and dirty crack classes were perfectly classified with 100% precision. On the other hand, and the icon class had to misclassify image. We were confused with X in the crack class. Two misclassified images from the dirty class were also observed in the crack section. Their classification error may be because we error in the labeling image in the dataset. And finally, a conclusion of the three CNN families used, it was found the BGG1964 model with a gradient, block, and chain the highlight accuracy compared to the ResNet 50 and the family which achieved respectively. Evaluation of the metric for the BGG model showed that CNN had 100% accuracy for dirty and cracked. In terms of sensitive, the model was 100% sensitive for all classes except X. Considering the dataset used to training the BGG1964 model and the metrics evaluate, it is concluded the proposed model can be used in the unwatching X gradient system. Reference, thanks.
Thank you very much for your presentation, dear participants. Do you have any questions about this topic? I guess there are no questions. We actually have 3 more papers, but the authors were not here. Let me once again announce them. The first paper is 2-factor authentication based on distance and face recognition for secure and efficient employee attendance monitoring. Are the authors of this paper here? I guess they are not here. The second one is review of user experience models in the context of e-learning setting. Are the authors here? I guess they are not here. And the last one is drug target interaction prediction using convolutional neural network. Are the authors here? Okay, I guess they're not here. Dear participants, on behalf of organizing committee, I would like to thank you for your scientific contribution to the Congress. Now I am ending this session. Thank you.